Kenya is leading its African neighbors by raising $2 billion in the sovereign bond market. Now, here to tell us how this move is helping to boost investment products, Wandera and Ambrose Dabani. Now, Kenya is rivaling its neighbors. We're talking about Zambia, even South Africa, in terms of its investment prospects. Can you tell me what entering the bond market has meant?
Kenya has successfully entered the global bonds market, and this has increased foreign direct investment in the country. It has also reduced the crowding out of the domestic borrowers market, and it also has resulted into the entry of Kenya into the top 3 bond markets in sub-Saharan Africa. We're looking at a bond market of $15 billion, and this has increased liquidity tremendously. And of course, this means that opportunities for price discovery and the stabilization of the bond market have increased very dramatically.
Ambrose, tell me, how is this money being invested both locally and internationally?
Kenya is embarked on a Vision 2030, where we hope to place ourselves as a middle-income country. And therefore, it is key that we are investing in our infrastructure. Here, I'm talking about road infrastructure, rail infrastructure. We would also need to invest a lot in energy sector. And here we are focusing on geothermal energy. We're also investing in food security and generally security because of the increased terrorism risk in the region.
Very interesting. Now, we know that the information communication technology sector is expected to get a big boost from the entry into the bond market. Tell me how this money is going to be spent.
The ICT industry provides direct investment opportunities for investors. Apart from that, of course, it has also resulted in business tapping opportunities for revolutionizing their business, automating business. We have got a fiber optic cabling solutions all over the country, 4 options in actual fact for anybody at any time to tap into.
Now, we've got the momentum that we just heard about, but there have been recent events that have impacted the industry. There's been a temporary shadow, in fact, following the terrorist attacks in Kenya. Tell me, how has that affected investor sentiment?
The recent events you're referring to is probably the Westgate attack, and more recently the attacks that happened in the Lamu, one of the coastal towns in Kenya. Our take on that is that we haven't seen the investor sentiments come down. In fact, investors are very bullish. Last year alone, Kenya still got $510 million in terms of foreign direct investments. I think the investor community realizes that terrorism is a global menace. It is not restricted to Kenya. Even here in London, you also have issues around terrorism. And the investor community is also very keen on what the government is doing. And I think they approve of the successes that we are having in Somalia in terms of downgrading Al-Shabaab capabilities there. They also approve security measures that the country is taking. Part of the money that we raised is investment in security apparatus. And therefore, we are seeing the investor community approving those actions. They are looking at us and looking at the partnerships that we are having now, world partnerships that are developing around terrorism. And therefore, we believe that the market will learn to ignore terrorism as a factor when it comes to doing business with Kenya.
Can you tell me a little bit about frontier markets and what your long-term investors are looking to take advantage of?
Long-term investors are very bullish about Kenya at the moment. We're looking at a GDP which has been in excess of 5% over the last 3 years. We're looking at an IT platform which is available to the entire economy. We're looking at a very, very capable human capital base which has made a contribution in the West. We have got a very significant diaspora. We're looking at a market within the region of 160 million people. Over and above that, we're looking at natural resources which are being discovered at this particular time. Some of them extremely exciting, particularly in the petroleum industry, oil, gas, and so on. Not just in Kenya, but throughout the entire region. Over and above that, we're looking at an internal market where we have devolved government. So there are lots of opportunities within the country itself. So it is a very, very exciting story. Investors really are looking for higher risk-adjusted returns, and certainly these returns are available within Kenya and throughout the region.
Given those lofty expectations, can you tell me where do your long-term expansion plans fall into the mix?
We believe that our insights in our business, our insights of sub-Saharan Africa, give us an edge over our competitors, both within Africa and outside. And then we are looking also at devolved government in our own country, which has resulted in absolutely amazing opportunities, including opportunities to penetrate the country and to really take advantage of the catchment areas that have become more accessible as a result.
Stephen Ambrose, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you very much, Kumothe.